Vigilante 8 Second Offense is probably my favourite game of all time. No matter how long it's been, I could always come back and enjoy playing it. It's probably why I can speedrun the game so much. But the other day I had a thought. What if I wanted to get into this game? How would I know which characters are best, or which ones would I like? Well, since I've done a run for every character that has a quest, I felt like I was qualified enough to tackle the subject of a tier list. Though remember, this is my personal opinion and not gospel, so if you rank some characters differently, I'd love to hear why. I'll take any opportunity to talk about this game, honestly. Anyway, let's start at the bottom of low tier.
Circle the wagons, here I come.
No surprise, the heaviest character is the worst. Convoy drives his Livingston truck and is the leader of the Vigilantes. He has the most durability out of any character, but he also has the lowest acceleration, which is one of 3 problems I have with Convoy. Because acceleration is so bad, you're unable to collect weapons or items at a reasonable pace, which for the Vigilantes having 6 out of 8 levels item required, yeah, it's a big time killer. Once he gets going though, he is pretty alright. Considering the fact that he can 2-shot any lightweight character with ramming alone, it's pretty good. However, his turning circle is ass. To be expected of a fucking 18-wheeler, yeah, but because of that, targeting close-range enemies becomes a challenge. You can lose his trailer and his acceleration and handling do become much better, however you can only lose it with one of 3 methods. You have the hover pickup, the water pickup, or you can sustain enough damage for the trailer to be destroyed. The latter 2 are usually preferred because his trailer has a lot of HP, so don't really bother waiting for it to be destroyed. My final issue with Convoy, however, is his special. While it is more fitting than his special in the OG V8, his special, Rolling Thunder, is a blast of his truck horns. This special has 2 major problems. For one, it's difficult to whammy with because it has a very large knockback effect. You can use this effect to, say, set up ramming damage or environmental damage, but that's really about it. And the second issue is just how piss poor the damage is. Even on high, the effect is so minimal you might as well just use literally any other weapon you can find. As much as I love the design of Convoy's truck, his low acceleration, terrible turning, and just lackluster special puts Convoy at the bottom of this tier list.
This is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you, kid.
You wait, I was Michael.
Huh. The second worst is the second heaviest. I wonder if there's a theme here. Garbageman drives the Grub Dual Loader, and he is actually Why the Alien from the first Vigilante 8 game. Garbageman has the second highest durability in the game, however he has the worst top speed, which shares the same problem as what Convoy does with his low acceleration. It's difficult to actually get anywhere, meaning you're wasting a lot of time trying to collect items or weapons. However, the Drifter questline only has 3 levels in which you need to collect items, and the first 2 are really easy, so not much time is lost like what the Convoy quest is. Apart from his lacking speed, it's fairly okay. His special is hard to whammy with, but it does a good chunk of damage to enemies if grabbed sideways, and you do have to use the front camera to see sometimes due to the Grub Loader's very large size. So he avoids the bottom with his okay special and handling, but can't be placed any higher due to his large size and lackluster top speed.
Garbage in, garbage out. The ghost is relentless.
And a super lightweight to break the trend. Bucky drives the Tsunami, and she is Lord Clyde's personal bodyguard. She is the only character in the game that have 2 stats completely maxed out, and she also has the highest top speed of any character. However, due to this, Bucky has the second worst durability in the game. While Bucky has really good mobility, her low HP means you are at risk of dying and killing your run. Thankfully the risk isn't too severe. Her special, the Rift Blade, is actually the only weapon in the game that is impossible to total an enemy with. The special is really good for traversal, however, and for hitting enemies through walls and really getting into their face for a follow-up with standard weapons. While it is possible to whammy with it, it is very tricky to do so. I only managed to do it on complete fucking accident, so it's not exactly a combo you want to seek out. A cannon shot with a Crater Maker works just as fine. Also, while this isn't really Obaki's fault, she just seems to find a lot of super heavyweight enemies. Hell, she fights Convoy on like 3 separate matches, which just really slows your run down. While she has some of the best mobility, her low durability and just okay special just sort of let it down.
You can't hide from your ghosts. Opportunity's knocking.
Nina Loco drives the El Guerrero and used to be the lover of previous Coyote leader Sid Byrne. Nina actually has pretty balanced stats with decent acceleration, top speed, and durability. Nina only just sits out of mid-tier, however, because of her special. Her stats are fine, her special's just not that great. Her Lemming Missile comes in packs of 3 and will seek out an enemy anywhere on the map. The special's very similar to Loki's actually from the OG V8. It also jams the radar and all tracking weapons lock onto the missile until impact. Now, while that seems useful, it doesn't really matter. The only use I ever got out of her special was cross-map chip damage, which basically just helped weaken the enemies until I found the weapons I wanted and just went in for the kill. It is pretty easy to whammy with though, like the missile's very slow and the timing's super easy. Though you won't really be doing that very often, as trying to whammy with it isn't as effective as like a Crater Maker, which is the same speed but just a lot more damage. As an Australian, I love Nina's ute, but her special, while it has its uses, isn't as good as some of the other specials later on in this list.
They don't call me loca for nothing.
The end is near.
Padre Destino drives the Goliath half-track, and he is a self-proclaimed doomsday prophet. Padre's half-track has pretty good acceleration and great durability, however he has a below-average top speed and the worst avoidance to balance him out. Padre finds himself at the bottom of mid-tier just due to his special, Hades Gate. His special weapon teleports Padre to the target enemy, and it does more damage the less the target is moving away from a single point. This special is impossible to whammy with, however it has the same benefit Obaki's special does, which is getting to your enemy quickly to finishing him off with your other weapons.
To inherit the earth. Always bet on black.
John Torque drives the Thunderbolt, and he is the muscle for Convoy and the Vigilantes. The Thunderbolt has the highest acceleration in the game, besides Obaki, and a pretty high top speed with an average durability. While the Thunderbolt has really good stats, John also falls into mid-tier due to his lackluster special weapon. His Wheel of Fortune is a 6 ammo revolver that does high damage but also massive knockback, making it very difficult to whammy with. However, you can use certain weapon combos before using the special in order to land the whammy, such as Missile Swarm or Crater Maker. Also, due to the high damage output of this special weapon, you can just spam it if you're having trouble finding any spare weapons. Just make sure you aim, because it doesn't track. You can have all the acceleration in the world, still can't make your special better.
Place your bet. The odds were against you, fool. Place your bet.
Aww, Team Bat!
The Flying All-Star Trio, also known as Team Fast, drive the Dakota Stunt Cycle and are long-lost relatives of Houston. They have great acceleration and avoidance, however they are the weakest character in the game. While they do handle poorly and they get bullied a lot, they are saved by their beautiful fucking special, Blazing Glory Rockets. Their special fires 3 separate rockets to a targeted car, much like Nina's, however instead of radar jamming, it actually strips the target of any power-ups, like hovers, skis, double damage, and etc. And the game treats each rocket as a different weapon, so it will whammy about 90% of the time, meaning it does even more damage than normal, and will usually 2 or maybe 3 shot most cars. It can however do a 1-shot if it's whammied with other weapons, say like the Bruiser Cannon. While Team Fast's vehicle is pretty trash with a very low HP putting you at risk of a death, they're saved by their special, which is one of the best in the game. Huh. I should do a special weapon tier list.
4 wheels? How square, John Turkey?
Take a seat, I'm driving!
Malo drives the blue Boro bus, and he is a follower of Lord Clyde after being busted out of prison transport. Malo has great durability, however all his other stacks are quite lacking. Malo is this high up for the same reason Team Fast is. It's special. Malo's special, the Smog Check, is a rear-facing weapon that fires much like the flamethrower does. On contact, it will stall enemies' engines and do a moderate amount of damage. The special is really good because it gives you enough ammo to kill any enemy that isn't a super heavyweight, and due to the stalling engine effect, you can basically just hit him once and let it rip. It is a little tricky to hit due to it being rear-facing, and the camera isn't quite far out enough. Fun fact, Malo is actually one of 3 characters who has not changed his special weapon over the course of all 3 Vigilante 8 games. The other 2, of course, being Sheila and Bucky.
Made you flinch.
Dallas 13, online.
Dallas 13 drives the Palomino 13 and is the cyborg helper of Lord Clyde. The Palomino has very similar stats to the Thunderbolt. It is slightly slower, but a bit beefier. Dallas is a lot higher up on this tier list as well, mostly due to a special, the Mega Collider. The Mega Collider is a powerful laser beam that cuts through anything and does knockback every second an enemy is trapped inside the beam. While the knockback may seem off-putting, it's actually fairly easy to whammy with this special. If you're quick enough, you can fire rockets or bruiser cannon to get quick whammies before they're pushed too far away. And because of the high damage, this usually should about one-shot any medium-class enemy or under. Dallas is a lot like John Torque when you think about it. He's just better in almost every way.
Outlaw eliminated. Awaiting orders.
You're so crazy!
Sheila drives the Wonder Wagon, and she's the niece of Vigilante leader Convoy. Sheila has great stats actually, with a high acceleration and a high avoidance. However, she is the 3rd weakest character in the game. Sheila's special, the Tantrum Gun, gives you the largest ammo count of any special weapon, only closely followed by Molo's special. The Tantrum Gun is much like the Bruiser Cannon, however it fires much faster, has a small knockback effect on hit, and will make enemies drop an equipped weapon. The special is also super easy to whammy with, and it pretty much works with any weapon except flamethrower and mines. And of course, as stated before, Sheila is one of 3 who have not changed their special weapons in all 3 installments of Vigilante 8. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Maybe you should be driving a wheelchair. I ain't no half human. I'm all woman.
Hey, she may be 5th on this tier list, but she's still my personal favorite. Houston drives the Samson Tow Truck and is currently the lover of Convoy. Houston actually has a great balance of acceleration and durability while still keeping an average top speed. Her special, the Tow Twister, is a hook that targets any enemy within a certain range. Once hooked, the special will do damage based on how fast Houston is driving. While the special alone may not do much damage, it is one of 2 specials that will whammy really well with mines, and is really useful for the Vigilante questline, as most levels require item collecting. With her special, you basically kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Houston will always be my favorite, but even if I don't think she's the best.
How do you like that for an overhaul?
It is my ploy to burn and destroy.
The literal definition of balanced stats. Lord Clyde drives the Excelsior Stretch and is the current leader of the Coyotes. He has the most balance of stats in the game, with around 270 for acceleration, top speed, and durability. Plus his special Chain Lightning is also one of the best in the game, as it does good damage, can hit either 1 or 2 targets. And if it only hits 1 target, it will automatically whammy the target. Clyde's special is also very easy to whammy with cannon, interceptors, or mortars. For a guy over 70, he's surprisingly a really good character.
Future. Some predicted. I inflicted.
Chase is the name. Agent Chase.
Agent R. Chase drives the Chronos Stinger and is an Interpol agent from 2077. Chase has similar acceleration and top speed of both Dallas and John, but with more of a focus to avoidance than durability. Chase's special Hard Time is, well, interesting. It's impossible to whammy with, but it does make whammies with other weapons super easy, i.e. Crater Maker and cannon combos. It does, however, have the lowest ammo count for specials in the game, Clyde's taking second at 2 ammo. With one well-placed shot though, you basically just get a free kill, provided you have the weapons to follow up. It's funny how Chase is only bested by 2 other drifters who share the same weight class.
Ladies and gents, the future of law enforcement is here today.
I apprehend with style.
Basically Chase, but better. Chassis Blue drives the Vertigo, and she is an FBI agent cross movie star. Chassis Blue is much like Dallas is to John, similar stats, just better in every way. Chassis has near maximum acceleration and top speed, but is fairly weak. Chassis' special star power is a 6 ammo tracking weapon that fires a laser onto an enemy from above. It's most effective on about close to medium range enemies due from the time limit on the special. It's also really good for whammies as the laser is continually firing for several seconds, and will whammy well with either cannon, rockets, or interceptors. The only major drawback of this, however, is the long delay on her special's firing time, as you have to wait before you can use it again. It's best to try and kill an enemy with one use of this special so it's ready for the next enemy. I much like this version over original, her special is so much better.
Right to return, not.
So I've got long arms. So what?
Yeah, by process of elimination, you should have guessed this one. Astronaut Volvo drives the moon tracker and is an escaped astronaut of NASA. Bob has fairly good acceleration, but he has the second lowest top speed in the game. He makes up for this, however, with his fantastic special, the Collector. Bob's special also has 6 ammunition and is a close-range grab weapon that puts the enemy directly in front of Bob while damaging them for several seconds. It also has the same effect that Sheila's special does, removing weapons from the target. Because this is right in front of Bob and he basically carries his enemy, this gives him the best synergy with other weapons compared to any other special. This special can one-shot any enemy with a single use and certain weapon combos, such as Crater Maker, Buckshot, Cactus Patch, and Stampede Rockets. Who knew a monkey was the best character in a car combat game?
The name is Malo, not Bobo.
So yeah, that's my personal tier list for Vigilante 8's second offense. It's not perfect, but I haven't seen any others, so I figured I'd take a crack at it. If you were to rank some of them differently, be sure to let me know and why. Also be sure to watch the full speedruns either on my channel or on speedrun.com. I'm bad at closing statements, so I'm just gonna fade this to black.
Yeah.